Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Supercast for those the only podcast where 2 or 3 dumbasses talk about Supercast for those thinking they know what the hell they're talking about. Sup? I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. That's Jonno, otherwise known as And that's our guest for the episode, Flamezone, otherwise known as Eric the Flame.
Hello, everyone.
Yay! Or Colton Chillzone during his emo phase.
Or Austin Weens.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, we can erase those memories now.
He had the.
Hey, we didn't bring up the worst one.
And we're not even going to.
I thought about it. Honestly, on that brief side, when we had the ultimate tournament RP fighting thing that we did way back when, I liked Eric and Colton. I did. A lot of people, for some reason, didn't say like they liked the characters. Like, Jake said that he hated his characters. Like, your characters were great. What the fuck are you on about? And I liked Eric, and I liked Colton. The other two, less so.
That.
But, you know.
I feel like how that was also managed, too, at the time. It was just like... When did some people, like, some really cheap outcomes? Like, just like, oh, yeah, I insta-kill your guy. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
I don't think we did, but I don't remember. It's been a long time.
No, not us. Like, some other guy, like, with, like, I think, like, force powers or something like that. But I can't remember.
Brawlinator did have Darth Vader in there.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my characters had to fight against Darth Vader. And honestly, it was the best choice for because my guy was just like, all right, he can put wind around his sword. So it's kind of like, there's a buffer between the sword and the lightsaber. So, ha, I can fight. I think I won that one because we just didn't want to have Darth Vader move on. It was supposed to be original characters. And he wanted to have Darth Vader in there, and we couldn't convince him otherwise. It's like, all right, screw it, whatever.
Fun time.
That was an instant loss for them. Interesting times. I wish we can get him on the podcast.
I honestly would love to get him on. We're friends on Switch, but you can't send messages over Switch, so.
It would be so interesting. It would be so interesting to have him on and then realize that it's actually just been Zantok all along.
I mean, I don't know. When I was streaming earlier today, and he popped up saying, "So and so is playing this game." It's like I don't even remember what the game was, but they popped up playing a game. It's like, oh hey, good for you.
Yeah.
That's a cover.
They're live. They play Ring Fit every morning. Yeah. That very intricate route. Yeah, he has 2 switches.
I mean,
he got that switch light.
Twilix is upstairs with his Switch.
Very true. Yeah,
confirmed.
Yeah. Twilix was Brawlinator and Zantok was Fuzzy Dude.
Actually, Twilix was at work at the time I was streaming.
Switch is portable.
It's true.
He was busy making one of those pizzas with only like 3 pieces of sausages on it again.
Man, he's got some stories he could tell. We could have a whole podcast. I was just like tales from the service industry, and he would just have the whole thing. It's like, tell me more about where they hurt you, because clearly they have.
I can tell you about my 5 years at a country club.
I've already heard them.
There's been some fun times.
Yeah, how's the newspaper gig?
And Eric works at GameStop.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I used to want to, and then I was like, oh wow, never mind.
Yeah. Kind of the same boat too. Like they kind of like, I've heard like they push employees like really sell and just like imagine like it'd be a bombardment of questions from like folks who don't know any better. So it's like
Yeah. You'll have the parent coming in wanting this new game, and you can't even tell what the hell they're talking about, and they can't communicate because they don't know games. It's like, oh god, just leave.
And the last time I've been in one, they kind of have like a whole section for like mobile, like phones and like game or like little plushy toys and stuff. It's like almost like not really like a video game store anymore. It's like some hybrid.
I mean, they've been dying off rather steadily.
Yeah,
that's why Ratchet walked off the board in like a year.
I'm surprised they're still around, honestly.
I think it's like the stock meme actually saved them, right?
It very well could have, or at least staved off the effects for a while. And I mean, in other countries, like they're in Australia, they're not. It's not GameStop. It's KB Games, but it's still the same stuff. So there might
Must
be some
be EB
international
Games
things that are
Canada.
helping them. Oh, EB Games. That must be what it is.
Yeah, you got it mixed up with KB Toys.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're probably helped out with some international stuff besides just the American branches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but to circle back, Brawlinator on the show, he was like Flamezone's mortal enemy during those days in the forums. We would love to have like a psychological visit and just have you guys talk it out on the show.
Will we like Jerry Springer now?
There's a vacancy.
Would you or would you not say the Mercurials had its own brand of cryptids back in the day? And one of them was DK3. He was only he would pop in for a while and then he'd disappear like Bigfoot. He'd just never to be seen until 5 years later when he announces, "Hey guys, I'm gonna redesign the site." It's like, okay, and then he doesn't redesign the site, or he erases the entire character page and only puts up like 8 things that are his own characters. It's like, and then he disappears again. It's like, all right, see you in another 5 years.
You're definitely a creature of the night, that's for sure.
Yeah. Nobusawa, Akakivich, James. God. What are you... What?
No. Hey, 2,000 something people listen to this on audio. I'm so amazed. I'm so grateful.
Hi, people. We're just reminiscing.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, you remember DK3's character Hex roster from the old days on Game FAQs?
Yes, that image rolls around still sometimes.
It does. Darth Vader was in it. It could have inspired Brawlinator.
It could have.
Hey, Brawlinator, look at my shirt. Come on down. We like Darth Vader.
We don't hate Brawly. Brawly was a kid. Probably.
It's like Flamezone.
Flamezone was a child back then. This is true.
So was I.
Yes.
I think you were too, actually. At least for a couple
Less
years.
of a child. I'm
Less of one.
considerably older than the two. Well, 2 years older than you. Considerably older than Eric. Eric, you're like 12 or something?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you've got the look. Anyway, let's stop the roasting of Flamezone, kind of. And let's actually get into our starting topic. We got Rate Their Chances, what we do at the start of our Smash Bros. Episodes. We've got 5 characters here for you. They're all on a theme. We'll get there in a minute. And we're all going to be, giving our thoughts about what we think their chances are being made playable in the next Smash Bros. Game. We'll give a percentage rating between 1% and 99% because nothing is a guarantee. And we'll average out and see what our general thoughts are between these 5 characters. And I've been teasing a theme for you, Eric. In this theme, we were talking about Mercurius and our heydays back then. The 5 characters we are discussing for Rate Their Chances tonight are all characters that you made movesets for back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you made characters like the Paladin from World of Warcraft. You made Narcissus Prince from Punch-Out!
Who?
I don't know! You're the one that made it! Don't ask me who! Jesus! So you made a few, characters. You made some choices. So we're going to be discussing 5 of them. Now, luckily for you, this is not going to be a complete roast session of you, because I picked 5 serious choices of your characters. So don't worry, there's no Narcissus Prince here, or Farfetch'd, or B Mario.
Farfetch'd, bring back Farfetch'd.
You made both Galaxy Mario and Galaxy Fire Mario.
Good times.
Wow, I'm not sure why.
hey, show us your shirt a little bit. You made Francis from Left 4 Dead once.
Let's go.
And he's the best character from the game. Sorry, Bill fans, but Francis is better.
Hey, Eric, I just wanted to let you know that
The podcast, Discord literally just cut out. Oh, no, Jonno muted himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree with that.
Why did he mute himself?
that was something that, yeah, so, okay, that was pretty funny.
I gotta get back to the podcast.
Yeah, me too.
All right, I guess that's going to be a thing tonight. Cool. So, anyways, let's go to our first character for our rate their chances. Honestly, all 5 of these characters are ones that. Well, no, I can't say that. That would be a lie. Let's just get to it. It's Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, he's not bad.
He's not bad. One of my favorite characters from Soul Calibur. When it comes to his odds in Smash, I mean, he's a Namco character. Namco has helped work on the last 2 Smash games. That helps him out. But even then, I mean, Namco only got Pac-Man in Smash 4, and then they only got Kazuya added to their list in Ultimate. When people expected, maybe 2 Namco characters. Like, there's a lot of expectations for the Tales of franchise, in particular, Lloyd or Ving. Whereas Nightmare and Soul Calibur has always kind of been like, after that, generally speaking, in terms of fan speculation, the general assumption is we'll get a Tails character first, and then maybe someday we might get a Soul Calibur character. Hard to say. The other big problem with Soul Calibur and Nightmare in particular is it's an ensemble cast. The question of who's the main character kind of depends. You could argue Siegfried and Nightmare. You could argue Sophitia. You could argue Killick even to a degree.
Yeah.
Not like a main, but he's a main. But then if Nightmare,
Oh, I think Killick was like the first playable character in story mode in the new one.
Oh,
Soul
okay.
Calibur.
So
even more your favorite.
Cool. I haven't known anything about the. I kind of stopped when they did their weird. Here's the children game. And they made Killick an Edge Master, and they brought in Sheba to be the new Killick. Yeah. And they have Patroclus, which is just Sophitia and Cassandra again. It's like, seriously? You don't.
Yeah, that's probably the worst one.
Yeah, it was a weird game. But the problem I think Nightmare has is that, sure, you could call him the main character, but is he going to fight in a way that will make Sakurai say, he is unique enough that I want to add him? Because Sakurai has a thing with third parties where he wants them to be different enough. And I don't know.
I think that Nightmare, at least in promotional material, like the weapon he uses with like the eyeball on his sword, like I think Soul Edge, is almost used in like every single Soul Calibur image, or like every single like cover. So I feel like Nightmare, at least like in like Siegfried is like his alter ego, where it's kind of like the good version with the big sword. So maybe they might have like a Pyra Mithra swappy thing if they wanted to do like some unique mechanic. But I do think Nightmare and / Siegfried could be like potentially like the best rep from Soul Calibur. Like even despite the other ensembles being maybe more primary in some of their games, but I think that Nightmare is the best. You look at me, it's like, oh, he's from Soul Calibur. I feel like.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, Soul Edge is the defining thing from the Soul Calibur games. It's what you think of the most, and Nightmare is the character that wields Soul Edge. So, forgot his name for a second there. I was trying to say Siegfried. I was like, no, I mean Siegfried. I feel like Siegfried would probably be more like an Echo or a Stimmy clone. But they could do a swapping mechanic, considering that in the first few games, Siegfried, he is Nightmare. He just got corrupted by Soul Edge. And then later on, he somehow breaks free of it, and now Nightmare's his own walking set of armor with no body. He's just the armor aside. It's like, okay.
He's got that arm thing,
Freaky. Yeah, he's got some stuff.
What
sometimes he has an eye. Sometimes his chest cavity is open and it's just fire, and there's teeth for some reason. I don't know.
I think he's second only to Spawn from the Soul Calibur series.
Yes, Spawn, the critically acclaimed character famous for Soul Calibur, and not anything else. And just like Link, he's from Soul Calibur, nothing else.
And definitely not his titular comic series.
Yes. Heihachi, also Vader. From Soul Calibur. Yeah, Darth Vader, Yoda, who else? Lloyd Ving.
Star Killer.
Kratos.
Yep.
They've had a lot of fun guest characters, honestly, in the series.
Yeah, they have. Oh my
Well, they had a Gyros, right?
They had a what?
Yeah, they did.
They had Gyros in 6.
Oh, yeah, and then 2B also. Yeah.
But does it beat Noctis and Negan?
That's Tekken.
I know. and Geese Howard. Oh, that one was cool, actually. That one was cool. And Akuma, for some reason.
And Akuma is actually involved in the storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what? Whoa.
Apparently,
That's
Akuma
amazing.
was hired by Heihachi's wife to kill Heihachi. It's like, what? Since when was Akuma a mercenary?
Well,
I don't know. Anyways, Jonno, what are your thoughts on Nightmare?
Nightmare, yeah, I mean he's I think he's in if we get a Soul Calibur character. The question is, and Namco is the developer of the game. I'm surprised that they didn't get a rep as DLC in Smash 4. For instance, or more in DLC for Ultimate either. But now that we've hit the box with Kazuya, I could see them wanting to do something different than another fighting game character coming into it. And Lloyd or Yuri from Tales are probably the most likely.
That or the whoever's the newest
and,
game, like Alphen from the new game.
Yeah. Tales Hero with 4 swappable characters.
Nope, they all have names. They all have their own characters. This is not a hero situation. That said, they pretty much all have Demon Fang. So, Demon Fang, Tiger Blade, they like repeating attacks with the swordsman.
Demon Tales Swordsman.
That's Naruto.
Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Wait, no, that's Bleach. Shit. I don't know.
Yes,
things.
it is.
All right.
But yeah. So I'm basically in agreement with you guys on this one.
All right. So as for percentages, Nightmare, I think it's low. I think Tales is going to take higher priority. The Smash DLC has added in a lot of fighting game and RPG characters, which would be Nightmare and Tales. But I think Tales has higher priority. I think it's more popular. There's a lot more games to it. I think they'll be able to more easily kind of make something new than compared with Nightmare. Nightmare's just going to be a heavy guy with big sword, and well, it's not new necessarily to Smash. I'm down for it, but I don't see it happening as likely. And I'm just going to go with what feels right here. 9%. We'll say 9% for Nightmare.
That's fair.
Jonno, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I on the other hand, I think a lot of Smash fans were thinking at the beginning Lloyd would probably be the second Namco representative, and then we ended up getting Kazuya.
There was a big fight. I mean, well, I wouldn't call it a fight, but there was debate between Lloyd and Heihachi. That's pretty much what everybody expected. It's going to be one of these two.
And then it turned out we didn't even get Heihachi or Jin, who I think both were more talked about than Kazuya within Tekken. And Tekken wasn't really talked about at all, despite being the 4th best-selling Namco Bandai series.
Yeah.
But we got him, and it makes sense. I think it's the franchise with the most legacy besides Pac-Man from Namco.
And on top of that, with Sakurai's explanation, Kazuya does make the most sense out of the Mishimas.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Tales, yeah, it's a substantially larger franchise than Soul Calibur, and it seems the most likely for Smash. I mean, the gameplay is kind of writes itself for Smash, and it's a popular pick within the fan community, which once you get discussion for a little while starts to mean something, unless you're Waluigi. If they're going to surprise us, I don't think it's good. Yeah. If they're going to surprise us, I don't think it's with Nightmare over a Tails character. I think it's going to be with something way off the wall, like freaking Dark Souls something rather over a Tails character.
Is Dark Souls Namco?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit. Dark Souls has entered the chat.
So in this case,
Fuck.
I see it as a good possibility, just not a really strong one, and it's a crowded field. I'll say 12.
All right, Flamezone, what you got for us?
Well, the thing is that what I think that Soul Calibur is. I don't know if you understand like Namco series, but I feel like Soul Calibur does have a really good legacy, even on Nintendo consoles with 2. And I do think like Nightmare, if they do add a rep, I think it would be Nightmare. Like, I think it really helps his chances a lot as opposed to another member of the cast, like Sofita or something like.
Solomel, yeah.
Voldo.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so low, but I'm going to give it a 15%.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's gonna average out to. I want to say it's actually gonna be 12. Yeah, 12%.
Mr. Driller's gonna end up being the character.
How did you know who we were discussing
Big
next? Wait,
Doug.
no. You never made a Smash Mr. Driller?
No,
bad.
Kelly Jelly did.
Well,
I'm not sure of that.
yes. It's Dig Dug, the character from Dig Dug.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, Mr. Driller is his son.
He has a name?
Mhm.
Well, technically, Dig Dug isn't his name. His name is Taizo Hori.
No, his name's Dig Dug.
That's fair. Next character we're talking about, this is one that Jonno is going to be excited about. Ryu Hayabusa, the Ninja Supreme of Ninja Gaiden. He was all the way back in the arcade games, well, I don't know if those arcade games, but the NES way back in the day. And then he decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to join a fighting tournament called Dead or Alive, and sometimes it might be in a volleyball spinoff. I don't know. And then they made 3D games, which I believe are prequels to the NES games.
I can't remember, but I remember them being actually really fun when they came out, 1 and 2.
Of the remakes?
They die hard.
Or not
No, like
the new
the
games.
3D like beat 'em up.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Kinda, like they're kind of akin
The
to
Xbox
like
games.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Hard
The
as
DS
shit,
one
oh
was
my
really
god.
good, too.
I watched most of the Ninja Gaiden franchise a few months ago. I watched the NES games, those were easy. And then I watched the first of the Xbox games. And then I just kind of stopped. Because I was like, okay. Like, I wasn't, like... I wasn't captured by the story or gameplay. And from what I watched, it was like, okay, I feel like I understand the character enough and what he can do. I don't feel like I need to watch the other 2 or 3 sequels that the Xbox games had. But Ryu's strength is twofold. He's one of the last major NES icons. And he's pure ninja. Pure ninja. Sure, Smash, we have Sheik. And we have Greninja. But I would not call either of them a ninja over Ryu Hayabusa. He is Mr. Ninja. And he's got, his typical weaponry, but then he also has ninjutsu techniques with fireballs and whatnot, which we don't have with the other characters. So he can bring in something unique there. That's really all I gotta say. I got nothing else. Even watching his games, I don't feel like I know a lot.
I'm definitely rusty. I actually like the 3D ones a lot, like growing up, but I haven't played them for a good while now. But he has a diverse arsenal of weapons, kind of like Dante and stuff. Like maybe you could have like a swap out mechanic or something. But yeah, he definitely fits like he would be like a good like theme, just like overall ninja character, like you were saying, Greninja, Sheik don't quite get there. And also there was like this big push at the end of Ultimate's life cycle or like DLC cycle for Ryu Hayabusa too. Yeah. So I think that he has a higher chance than most.
He was a common name, and there were rumors that he was going to be in, but then rumors are rumors.
Yeah. I concur. I mean, with the both of you, obviously, Ryu Hayabusa is now that Hero's in, Simon's in, Mega Man's in. He is the last guard of very high-profile NES era series to not be in Smash.
Besides maybe Contra and like,
yeah. Although I think that there's
Bob and Bob.
A little more there with Hayabusa. Yeah. That's a cool shout out. Bob and Bob. They're more like arcade guys, like Pac-Man. I wouldn't call him the NES character. But yeah, he's one of the very. I would argue he's the strongest by a degree of the remaining NES characters that are realistic to choose between. Like Bill Reiser is fairly iconic too. It's just more like there's more you can do with Hayabusa because of Ninja Gaiden Black and all the games that came after it. It's the suave. Like he has all of his ninpo ninja abilities, which are ready and varied, and he also has a ton of different weapons to choose between. like Eric was saying, a la Dante or Bayonetta, it became that sort of gameplay. And he's also the Dragon Ninja, so you can do what they did in the DS version and have his final smash be summoning a giant dragon.
Or he turns into a dragon and then swallows everyone.
Yes.
No.
Or the
Like
he's also called some weird thing, like the Peregrine Ninja or something. I don't even know. Anyway.
He's a pelican?
Yes, he is.
Oh
Pelipper will finally be in Smash if he makes it in.
Oh, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I feel
I'm more of a
great
Wingle
about
fan myself, but
You're saying that to the man whose favorite Pokemon is Pelipper. I'm just over here just like, give me my popcorn. This is going to be fun.
Your favorite Pokemon actually is Pelipper?
Wingle becomes Pelipper. Yeah, and my favorite Pokemon are Pelipper, Nosepass,
Yes.
Politoed, Darunia.
That's like a Zelda character.
And Ice Spice.
Okay. Well, let's get on to percentages. I'm going to save mine for last. Jonno, what is your percent for Ryu Hayabusa being in the next Smash games?
There used to be a precedent for, or there has been. There has been a consistent precedent for bringing in characters from the era that Hayabusa started into Smash. You have your Mega Man, you have your Simon Belmont, and so on and so forth. I would rank Hayabusa's chances as relatively high, especially with Koei Tecmo being friends with Nintendo and them not having a character in yet. Given the high profile that Koei Tecmo is working on the Warriors games with Nintendo quite often, releasing all their games on Nintendo systems, them and Ubisoft are the two companies I'm surprised are not represented in Smash yet. So, Hayabusa, I will say 70%.
Wow. 70%. All right.
Yeah.
Flamezone, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think I definitely concur with John. Like, that's actually even an observation I didn't even recognize at first, like with the Warriors games, but he's totally right with like Hyrule Warriors and even like the sequel too. And they worked closely together to get like some of the details on like that world too, I've heard.
Yeah.
I think I actually brought my percentage up more. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll say also 73%.
Here's where it gets interesting. Because I gotta be honest, guys. I'm not so high up on Hayabusa. I know this is gonna be some sacrilege, some heresy, but I'm not so high up on it. Part of the reason why I wanted to watch this game was to kind of understand the appeal, and I wasn't bought in. And this is why I wanted you guys to give your percentages first, because I was initially going to go not nightmare low, but low. I'm not going to say the number because Jonno's going to get upset if I say the number. It was 30. But I wanted you guys to go first so I can kind of try to gauge it. Like, okay, where should I actually go with this? Because I definitely have some bias, some negative bias for Hayabusa where he just isn't enthusing me. And I needed a different perspective. But it's still going to be lower than 70. I'm not going that high. I don't think it's that high. It's true that, he is an NES character, they're going way back in the day. But is Sakurai actually doing that? I don't know. The Belmonts, here's a great answer on this one. The Belmonts didn't get in necessarily because Sakurai wanted the Belmonts. Castlevania did very well in the Smash ballot. That's why we had the Belmonts. And even then he was considering Alucard, which still would track the whole NES representation. But I think that had more to do with their placement. If they didn't do so well in the Smash ballot, we might have had different characters in their place. Maybe Hayabusa. I don't fucking know. But I'm not going with 70 or 73. I'm going to go with 55%. So
So
Jonno doesn't have to kill me. And
Well,
it's
man.
still relatively respectable for a third-party character. It rounds out to 66%. I think that's pretty fucking good when you're trying to predict Smash. Just say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to stop calling me.
Hey.
What's up?
So that was quite an.
He muted again. Is he doing this intentionally so that I don't hear? They both muted.
Such an interesting.
If they,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna move on.
can't
I'm just
believe-
gonna move on because I can't. This
and
isn't
I
even
have to
content.
admit, I have to admit that I wasn't even.
All right, the next character we're doing
God,
chances
well,
on
just
is
wow.
going to be Infernate
What a thing.
from Pokemon
Okay.
Diamond and Pearl,
All
the
right.
fire starter
Yeah, I just
of
wanted
that
to share that with you.
generation.
Just personally, yeah. Thanks.
It's a great
I
insight.
don't
Thanks,
like this bit anymore. Infernate, fire Pokemon. You made a moveset for Infernate way back when. He's my favorite fire type starter of the whole lot. But what are his chances in Smash? Well, after Incineroar, I think they're gone. I think Incineroar took the slot that Infernate could have had, and it's gone. His chances are gone.
Oh yeah.
That's sad.
I think even like his only other shot would have been like if the Diamond Pearl remakes were more timely and
Yeah.
didn't suck so bad.
Yeah.
But
It's not that they were bad, because they're not bad. It's just that in comparison to what we got with previous remakes, they were very disappointing.
In comparison with Platinum, they were very disappointing. Like,
I mean, we
Yeah.
do have the Grand Underground, and we don't need HMs. That's the only two things that I will give the remakes of getting correct. Everything else
they
was
look
just
weird.
Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, they looked like Fisher-Price toys.
but not polished, not like Toy Link, just like
No.
there.
At least
Yeah.
Toy Link, he looks like a Fisher-Price toy, but he looks like a high-quality Fisher-Price toy. The Diamond Pearl remakes look like off-brand Fisher-Price toys.
Fisher, but spelled like someone's last
With a
name. that we know.
PH.
like
With a
FY.
PH. Fisher Price.
But yeah, I like Infernate. He's a cool fire monkey. He got them punches. He got them kicks. He got a flaming cartwheel. He's cool, but it's not happening.
Yeah, no, I'm also thinking that the fire starter slot is like oversaturated now too, kind of, like, especially when there's like no grass starter. It's like,
Yeah.
that's tough. I think I almost wonder too. Like, I feel like if they were wanting to go like another fire starter route, they almost would just pick Blaziken from that era over Infernate just
Probably.
for sheer popularity with the Mega and stuff.
And they could easily use Captain Falcon as a starting point for Blaziken with the modeling and moveset. Because that's what they do with a lot of characters. A lot of characters they start with different characters and be like, all right, let's build off of this.
Yep. The new setup on a Captain Falcon will be Blaziken, and then they'll still have Ganondorf have Captain Falcon's moveset.
And I feel like if Sakurai was tasked with Infernate for some reason, like he would just play way more into like the monkey aspect of it more than like other.
But then we have Diddy Kong.
Yeah, that's true too. So like it feels like his spot is oversaturated for sure.
It's unfortunate.
I hope they get some sounds for Infernate from like a growler monkey, so it's going like, ooh.
Baboon.
Yeah. Infernate smacks its butt as one of the taunts.
Yep.
Is that one? Actually, it sounds like something I would write.
Man, I would love to look. We'll see if Smircurious is going to cooperate, because sometimes the site doesn't want to work anymore. Meanwhile, Jonno, thoughts on Infinite, because we're waiting on you.
There was a precedent at a time for Smash Brothers to invite a number of fire Pokemon to Smash. You have Charizard. You have Incineroar, that's the guy. And with that in mind, I do believe that we're due for another fire Pokemon. I think the only question is it going to be Infernape or Delphox or Darmanitan? The three most likely of the Pokemon to get in, I think.
I think you're forgetting about a very obvious contender.
The red...
Gigantamax Charizard.
That's true. God. Gigantamax Charizard and Charizard X are both just going to be in as their own characters.
I think you guys are sleeping on Torkoal.
And Cyndaquil.
Magby.
Yeah, what a guy. I do like a guy that looks like red cauliflower.
Or just Magmar. The actual butthead.
So, you did not have Infernape slap his ass for a taunt.
Nice. I can be proud of my younger self.
Hey, I'm proud of your younger self, too. You provided so many laughs in my life.
What we got for a number? What do you guys think?
Oh,
because I'm going low.
2%.
Oh no, yeah.
There's always the chance. With that extra 1% is that Sakurai wild card.
I gave it a 3.
Jonno?
70%.
Jonno?
It's only a question of which fire starter is going to be next. It could be Infernape. If the fans vote for Infernape,
it's going to be Cinderace.
Yeah.
Who is... I'm trying to think of who the new starters are for Gen 9, and I'm blanking.
It's that alligator one.
Oh, yeah! Would not work for Smash, sadly.
I don't know Gen 9 very well.
Yeah.
I don't know a thing about Gen 9. Honestly, I've been so behind.
The theme is performance. So you have a singer, you have a dancer. I don't remember the third one. What's the third? Oh, a magician.
And you also and there's also the time travel element.
Yeah, but he was asking starter theme or game theme.
Oh yeah,
I forget.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, percent.
Yeah, 1%.
All right, that averages out to 2. Moving on.
There you go.
Something slightly more exciting. Jonathan, why? No, I have... Okay, turn my ringer off apparently because you're changing the bit. No. Next character is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Now, this is an interesting one, and I'm going to save my big comment about it for the wrap-up. But, Mortal Kombat, it's one of the most... It's probably the biggest fighting game that is not represented in Smash yet. Scorpion is the main character. You could argue Raiden. And, who doesn't want to yell, come over here, or get over here to a character as you throw a spike into their gut and literally drag them towards you. I think it's fun. It's fine. Also, you can burn people alive.
That was pretty interesting that time because I wasn't even on the phone with Eric. I was on the phone with Zantok's voicemail. It was like advanced. Anyway.
You were.
Yeah, Scorpion. What a guy.
Like Scorpion from the Marvel movies?
Yep.
No, from Mortal Kombat. Pay attention! Instead, the bit is dead. Pay attention.
The Mortal Kombat reboot. Yes. What?
I think Scorpion's the best 2-drop in Marvel Snap, so he should probably be in 100%.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, Marvel, Scorpion's the best Marvel supervillain of all time.
Not
I think
that Scorpion. Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna fatality your ass.
I have not thought of Scorpion from Spider-Man in such a long time. What a guy. He stings you. The amount of core strength he needs to swing his huge stinger around as a humanoid is impressive.
I'm going to rate Scorpion King probably pretty likely because he had a really good game on the GameCube.
He could look like he did in the movie, just really shitty CGI of The Rock.
It's like a like a poor man's Conan the Barbarian. Let's go. I'm probably gonna give him 98% just because there's a chance I might not get him.
Yeah, Conan. Yeah, one of the better late night shows, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lister, what's your
See
percentage
that,
on
Lister?
Scorpion
Yeah, it's like I really rubbed off on him tonight.
King? Just call the police.
Hello, I'm the
Stop!
police. Hey, this is a great time to shout out one of our biggest fans. Thank you so much to Eric's mom for listening to Supercast Brothers. We have your favorite guest back on the show, and I don't know about you, Lister, but he's becoming my favorite guest as well.
I mean, he's our most recurring guest.
Yeah. Just something about that face.
This is your 6th appearance.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's always fun to mess with you guys.
No, but really,
What did I
appreciate
do to deserve this?
yeah, it's
I've
fun.
been so good. What did I do?
It's been such a kind man this year.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
No, you're not.
you did get a really cool gift at least.
That's true. I wanted to bring this up. After complaining about that bitch ass making himself a supercast for this mouse pad and not telling me, I got one in the mail the other day. I was like, oh, hey, that's a fun surprise.
That's very sweet.
Now, when are we going to get shirts?
Yeah.
Where's the
We
merch
could do
link?
Seriously, where is the merch link? We could honestly do that.
We can do it. We just need to buy in bulk to make the price go down because these guys cost $20.
I mean, Streamlabs
Sell 'em
does
for
something
sell 'em
where
to
they
Eric
do
for
it.
$40.
I don't know. Yeah, you want to buy a $4
Oh,
t-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The proceeds go
Yeah,
to my
discount.
gaming fund.
There you go. We're actually going to use it to educate Jake on
The-
new releases.
the
So
pro-
we're going to sit him down and have him play games.
Jake couldn't even replay Chrono Trigger when we were trying to do a whole game club thing.
Oh, it's like so short too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a short RPG. I don't know.
I got lost at one point when playing it. I didn't know what to do, so I just quit playing. I spent hours going back and forth between every time period, talking to people, running around places. I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't progress the story. Fuck it. I'll move on to a different game.
It probably had something to do with the prehistoric area, if I had to guess.
I have no idea. I know I had Prehistoric. I had The End of Time. I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
You might have had to talk to the hooded guy in the end of time. You do that?
Possibly. I don't. It was years ago.
That's fair.
Oh, you mean Darian Moore?
No, the hooded guy,
Nice.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, shit. This is an interesting one.
It is honestly for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most prominently, I think, is Mortal Kombat back in the day was like hyper censored by Nintendo when it came out on the Super Nintendo. When Nintendo was in like their very conservative approach to gaming politics.
The red was colored, the
yeah.
blood was colored green, and instead of fatalities, you had friendship, which is honestly
Yeah, that
a
also
funny
makes-
concept.
Well,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and GTA are kind of like the ones that kind of brought like politics into like the gaming sphere, like with like just the controversial nature of them. I feel like kind of caught the attention of boomers at the
Yeah.
time.
You can rip a character's spine out and sell it on the black market.
Sells
Cross
pretty well.
games, their spin-off.
Yeah, it's this weird paradigm where like Mortal Kombat is like almost like one of the most iconic fighting series of all time, but also it's so controversial in nature that it might not have a life on a Nintendo platform again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was going to use to lead into me talking about my percentage for Scorpion. The controversies. The biggest of which being, it's banned in Japan. Mortal Kombat is banned in Japan. They don't sell the games there. It's also banned in several other countries, like Ukraine. Not because of the violence, though. It's because of the communist imagery. But also, it was banned for several years in Germany. I think it's allowed in Germany now. But the sheer fact that it's banned in Japan and more countries. It's a 1%. It's not happening.
It's kind of crazy
Scorpion
they make
can't happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy that they make Berserk, but they ban Mortal Kombat.
Ah, I don't know enough about Berserk to comment, but I know it's popular.
It's like probably the most like graphic manga of all time.
Okay.
It's the most disturbing imagery you could ever see, like ever put to paper. Like people are like ask what was wrong with the guy who made the series.
I asked that about
Just
myself.
It's an interesting paradigm since, like, on a personal note, I don't like gratuity for the sake of gratuity. Like, if it makes sense in the world and the story, then whatever. And it's like, yeah, whatever. On the other hand, banning it in certain countries is a little over the top.
Yeah. Even if it wasn't banned in Japan, I think I'd still go to 1% just because it's banned and controversial in several other countries. And that would make adding him to Smash very difficult to do because they'd have to do it in a way where those countries will allow it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I understand it. I guess it's extreme because it's been so many years. But given their unique history, it's like, okay, I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. What?
Well, I don't think I would give it like a near impossible rating, just because like I think there is potentially a universe where they bring him in just like one character for sheer popularity, despite for Western popularity, and completely like neuter any kind of semblance of violence that he would normally have. Like just like completely like family proof him. But just have a character likeness in the game. So I feel like I would give him potentially a like I want to say 5%.
Okay.
Yeah, Scorpion Mii fighter that hugs everyone.
Yeah.
God, this is for me. I think for the reasons that Lister banged on, essentially, I will get lower than Infernape, man. And I gave Infernape a 1, so I got to give Scorpion a 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we can't go lower than that.
Nope.
There's always a chance, no matter how small.
No matter how small, that's right. Tony Hawk, though, he may get in.
Tony Hawk, sure. 2.3% for Scorpion is the way we average out. And now for our final one. Our final character that you once made a moveset for. Way back in the day. And this character, I've also made a moveset for.
Guess who it is?
More recently. Yeah, guess who that is?
Made it more recently?
No, like you made them speculating, but then more recently, like in the past couple years, I also made a moveset for this character on the Smashtopia wiki.
I'm not even sure. Like,
I can give you a hint.
Yeah, hint.
The color of your chair.
Is it like the I don't know. I was gonna say like the little the falcon or like the eagle from like Sonic Racer.
Did you make that moveset? Now I gotta go look. Did you make Jet the Hawk? I don't remember seeing him on your list. No, you did not make a Jet the Hawk moveset, sir.
Okay, what's another good hint? The same genre as
Yoda
on my T-shirt.
You didn't make Yoda either.
Okay, something that you do something frequently in this game that's really popular in America.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm still blanking, boys. I'm not sure.
You're gonna feel like a fool. You're gonna feel like a fool.
Man.
You play the Xbox. It's really popular in the state. In this country.
Master Chief, yeah. There you go. Shooting people.
There you go.
Okay, that's not where I thought the clue was. That's popular in the States. I thought it was teabagging.
Oh.
I
God.
Confirm nor deny which one I was thinking of.
Jesus Christ. Yes, Master Chief is our final research chances character of the day. Fuck. So Master Chief is interesting. He is the icon of Xbox as a gaming system and Microsoft as a gaming company. So some may say, why the fuck would you do that? But Banjo-Kazooie and Steve, they are Microsoft characters now. They may not have been originally, but they are... No. They are Microsoft characters now. And people can kind of consider them when Smash Bros. Was coming up. These were the big three of Microsoft choices: Steve, Banjo, and Master Chief.
You were right. It was your guess and his. So.
Wow, you probably should have muted that part, and you didn't. You muted after that part.
I thought you couldn't hear me.
No, I could hear you. Anyways, Jesus Christ.
We're just derailing this so bad.
Master Chief, like Nintendo and Microsoft rather, they have a really strong relationship right now. Master Chief is one of two characters that can be considered the icon of shooter games, especially FPS. It's him or Doom Guy or Doomslayer, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
Both owned by Microsoft now.
Yeah, well, actually, no, yeah, that's that one did go through. I was thinking of the Activision one. That one hasn't gone through yet.
That one is old now,
yeah.
The UK blocked it for all intents and purposes.
Pretty much, but Chief, I think, has really high chances.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest hurdle Chief is just going to be Sakurai going like, do I want to do that much with the guns? Because we have other characters that use guns in Smash, yes, but not to the level that Chief would be. And I don't. And he's traditionally kind of shied away from it. He's been adding more to it as we've gone into Smash. Joker and Bayonetta being the more recent additions. But like Snake doesn't use guns. He uses explosives.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with Chief though, is that like you can totally just, if you really want to stay away from guns, you can just use like energy sword, like gravity hammer, like plasma grenades kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of alternative, especially elite weaponry. Like doesn't seem like a proper gun, you know. Like, and they did have gun with Joker, and I don't know. I feel, and I do agree with. I definitely echo a lot of your points too. Like especially with the relationship with Microsoft. There's also a lot of nostalgia with Master Chief. Like that could just make a whole segment of people just like lose their minds, basically, if that were to happen. So I feel like Chief has a pretty solid chance, I'd say, especially with how chummy the relationship is with Microsoft right now.
Yeah, Nintendo. I would be absolutely floored if he didn't have the plasma grenades and the energy sword. They could give him the regular grenades, I guess, but are those as cool as the plasma grenades are? No. And the energy sword is just the second most iconic thing about Halo. It's one Master Chief and then the energy sword.
Yeah,
there's definitely ways you can make it work for sure. I mean, if you had to work on a limitation with guns with him, I think it'd just be cool.
Definitely. What world do we live in where we're considering Master Chief as very likely?
We never would have used to.
No.
It wasn't until Ultimate that it became a possibility. Ultimate's DLC broke so many fucking barriers that a lot of people thought were just like, these are hard rules. Not anymore. Yeah. There's only one hard rule left. Actually, there might technically be two, but
fourth party still kind of.
Yeah, that's the hard rule. I think that there's a semi-soft rule of you gotta have been on a Nintendo platform, but that's been kind of skirted with a few characters like Cloud and Joker. Because Cloud was on Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Joker was on Persona Q2.
Was Hihachi Nintendo?
I'm pretty sure Tekken was on Nintendo at some point.
Maybe. It's a pretty big series, I guess.
Actually, no, I know it was, because I had Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on Wii U.
Yeah, and it was on 3DS and a few other ones, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So sweet. Yeah, I mean, we have Steve and Alex, and we have Banjo-Kazooie. Now we've gotten to this point where Chief is the obvious direction to go after those two.
Hammer Doom Guy.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a battle between the two of them.
Yeah. But I think what puts Chief more in favor of Doom Guy, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Scorpion. Doom Guy is about especially the more recent games, the savage gore. And I don't think they're going to put in the savage gore in Smash. I think Chief has better odds purely because of that.
Yeah,
sorry. Well, when you strip that away from Doom Guy, there isn't a lot left.
Yeah, it's kind of similar like when you were talking about Scorpion, how they could like kid friendly for him for Smash. You know, it's just like they could, but is he Scorpion anymore?
Yeah, you'd probably just be hook shots and like skeletal fireballs and stuff. Like,
He has a fiery
for
teleport.
Scorpion, I mean. But Doom
Um,
guy, like, yeah, like he has like his most iconic weaponry is probably like the super shotgun, you know, like a literal shotgun. It's like, oh,
Yeah, and the
or like
BFG, the big
big
chainsaw
fucking
thing.
gun.
but he's cool with the Animal Crossing crew, right? Like he's friends with them.
Yes, it is confirmed canon that Isabel and Doom Guy are best friends. They send each other Christmas cards, birthday presents. Isabel baked him a cake. He got really teary-eyed about it. It was the first time everybody had ever baked him a cake.
That would be the funniest reveal if it was like it looked like an Animal Crossing Smash reveal, but like Isabel was giving Doom Guy a letter.
I kind of feel like if Doom Guy did get in Smash, Isabel is going to be in that reveal trailer. I don't know what they'll do, but she's going to be there.
He's gonna rip and tear that envelope open. I'll say that much.
And there will be a picture of a dick butt drawn by Sephiroth in it.
Yes.
And then
Wooden
Sephiroth
Blank
is going to
Studios.
get
Good time.
fucked up. Now, that's just going to start a whole chain
Yes,
of
yes.
events. Like, it's probably going to be like, an over a year long comic series about it.
I would argue the best comic arc of an online, I'll say Smash comic, but in my opinion also online comic.
Yeah.
That I've read. Good times.
If you don't know what Wooden Plank Studios is, please check them out.
Great guys. Good stuff.
Anyways, Master Chief.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool guy. Same as John.
John 117, 117% chance.
Yeah, and I think if he had like a human last name, it would be like Andrade or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. All right, I'm just gonna go for percentages at this point. I'm actually feeling pretty high up on Master Chief. Ryu Hayabusa fans, again, you're gonna hate me because I'm going higher than my 55%. I'm going 65% chance with Master Chief.
No, I agree. There is an element of Smosh, what the hell? And
Smosh is something different.
yes, it is.
I don't even know if those guys are still around.
Not together. No.
They are. They're not together.
They're alive, but they're not together.
Oh, so they broke up. I'm sad.
Yeah.
It was Anthony who left, right? It wasn't Ian.
I don't know.
They had a lot of.
Either which
They had
way.
a lot of
I
issues
couldn't-
with like
What was that?
production companies. They like I think there's some kind of issues with like their production companies and like ownership and kind of like Machinima era stuff. Like weird like shady things are going on.
The different like people who tried owning different channels on YouTube and managing them.
Yeah, like trying to make an org, and then the org is like kind of absolved or like messed them up pretty much.
Steals
They're
their
great
IP.
now, though. I think they're better than they've been in a while. Like
Individually,
now.
yeah.
Like right now. Individually, yeah. The Good Mythical Morning guys run them. I love Good Mythical Morning. Anyway, this is not here nor there. This isn't even video game chat. Master Chief. No, like Sakurai knows, everyone knows. A part of Smash has become the reaction to these individual character trailers. For creatures like us, there's an element to these reveals and the speculation behind them that is more exciting than when the game actually is out.
You're right. You're absolutely
to be honest.
right.
Like my hype for like K. Rool, for instance, and the manic messaging of Lister while he was on his work shift, like K. Rool, and you're like, what? There's an excitement there. It's like pure happiness.
Yeah.
And we got it. We got it with K. Rool and Ridley. We got it with Sora. We got it with Cloud. We got it with Snake and Sonic. Mega Man.
Steve.
It continued. Yeah, Steve as well.
Yeah, if you go ahead.
Steve broke the internet.
I was gonna say it's kind of like your nostalgia being like what's the word? It's kind of like enter into the Hall of Fame. Just kind of like what's the word? Just like your nostalgia just being like recognized or to kind of like
Yeah.
definitely.
Definitely.
Like, oh, it made it!
And,
wow,
for sure. And it's becoming harder now because there are so many characters that have made it into Smash that fans have wanted for a long time, or that are these huge game stars like Steve. There are only a few that can scratch that itch now. Master Chief is one of them. I think a Sony rep that is
Kratos.
deeply unlikely to happen.
Yeah,
but like Kratos, it would be like that level now.
Yeah. Bubsy.
And very little. And I think nothing can top that. Nothing can top Chief or Kratos. And Kratos isn't happening, so Chief it is. 80%.
I wanted to go higher than 65. I just wasn't feeling confident enough. But interesting. Flamezone.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Oof, that's I like it. I like it. I was wondering. I was gonna like. I saw listeners coming. I'm just like, oh, is mine too high? But yeah, I think I'll go with this 75% just for the same reasons you guys echoed. Like just the hype factor. The only thing that might hold them down a bit, just being a third party in nature, and just we don't necessarily know if Nintendo will go as balls to the wall as they have done with Ultimate. But I feel like if they did want an exciting trailer, like Chief is like your man, especially with the Microsoft relation factor.
Mm-hmm.
The internet has been broken by several Smash reveal trailers. Snake and Sonic in Brawl, Smash 4's Cloud, and then Ultimate just like again and again and again with Steve and Sephiroth, Ridley, Cable,
even
Joker, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Hero in Japan he probably broke it there. Less so in America because Americans don't play Dragon Quest as much, but I would still probably throw him up there. In Chief, there's a couple of other characters besides Chief that I think could do that. Oh yeah, Sora. Sora did it as well. But Chief is absolutely another one on that level. Like he could do it too. I kind of, I don't know who some of the others might be. Maybe like a Dragonborn.
Crash Bandicoot, maybe.
Maybe
not anymore.
For the West.
For the West, yeah. I think Crash would in the West. He's less popular in Japan, but even then he's more popular than Spyro in Japan. They fucking ruined him there. But Chief is like the character that I think connects to it.
I think so too. And even if they go, and because Eric makes a good point, like they could reboot Smash in a sense and cull back way back on the third parties and focus on a more like insular roster.
Yeah.
True. And that will be where they get smaller picks than Chief. Like they can go, oh, let's finally put Rayman in and Ryu Hayabusa and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember for Smash 4, before we had characters revealed, I thought that we weren't going to get Snake or Sonic back, and they were just going to do the Soul Calibur method. You introduce 2 to 4 guest characters in each game, and then you throw them out for the next game, and you introduce 2 to 4 more new ones in the next game. That's what I thought we were going to get with Smash 4, and they were just like, oh yeah, Sonic's back. It's like, oh, Snake's not. Oh. But then they added several more. It's like, okay. And then Ultimate is just like, everyone is here, motherfucker. It's like, oh my god.
The game is such a gem. My goodness.
Yeah.
But even in a world where they do this, they're still going to want to have at least that one character that is a major marketing machine.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But he's also perfect DLC fodder. He's perfect DLC fodder. He would sell a pass on his own.
Oh yeah.
You just reveal him first, and people will buy the rest of the pass, not even caring.
It's Sora. It is Sora level.
Yeah.
It is like that crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Sora brought Mickey Mouse to Smash on his Keyblade emblem.
Oh god, I don't want to talk about how much that costs. But we have our 5 for this episode of our Rate Their Chances, and of them, 2 of them are entering the top 10 of characters that have had the highest scores for this whole season combined. Ryu Hayabusa and Master Chief are knocking out Wart and M. Bison.
That sounds fair.
Such top tier characters that we're knocking out of them.
I mean, their rankings were a 17.3 to 15%, but this season, I feel like this season we might have had a lot more lower numbers in general. I tend to be pessimistic with a lot of character chances.
A little more tempered, yeah. I feel
Yeah,
that.
We also did Tails for the second time.
by mistake.
Not to
We
bring
we
that
we
up
forgot
again.
that we did Tails last season, and then we did Tails again this season. Like, oops. And he's in the top 10 both times. But funnily, he dropped on the list.
That may have been because of the guest.
Yeah, because we had, well, even then, you two and I, we both had lower scores than we gave him the first time around too.
Weird.
I feel like if Cloud can have Sephiroth, Sonic can probably have Tails eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. All right.
We'll give you the Tails doll. All right.
Let's get to Smash or Dash. We got two pairings of characters that we're going to pit against each other. We're going to talk about them. We're going to debate their merits, what they could bring. One of them we will choose to add to Smash. One of them's hopes will be dashed. Who's it going to be? I don't know. But let's start out with Sly Cooper versus Spike from the Ape Escape games. You will notice that much like I read the chances earlier today, we have a theme with Smash or Dash today. That theme is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale because it amused me and I wanted to do it. I thought about making the 5 characters for Rate Their Chances be other characters from PlayStation All-Stars, but then I was just like, nah, let's do Eric Nostalgia Trip.
Mm-hmm. What a trip it was.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Let's start with Sly Cooper. Get a little bit of information about him. First of all, he's a raccoon man. The whole series is anthropomorphic animals. He's a raccoon. So picture this, right? Picture this. You are the son of a master thief. But not just a master thief. You're not just... It's a whole family line that stretches back to the fucking pyramids and earlier than that of master thieves. With Sly Tutankhamun, I'm trying to think of some of the other names. Gallant Cooper, fucking... I can't remember all the names, and that makes me sad. But it's a long, storied history. In fact, the 4th game is all about going back in time and meeting some of your ancestors. But to take it back to when Sly was a child for a little bit, some gangsters came in and killed his dad. And then he went to an orphanage. And he met his 2 best friends. And then they decided to become thieves together, and they created their own little team, the Cooper Clan. Well, the Cooper Clan is the whole family thing, but they're the team. And they go on several heists of theft. And in the first game, there's the organization that, oh, I'm sorry, these are the guys that killed your father and stole your family's book about all the tricks that you can do. Oh, we're gonna have to kill them and get those tricks back, get revenge for our dad. And they just kept going bigger and bigger with each game, doing all kinds of thief stuff. The first game is just basically a lot of just standard platforming and going through like a 3D, kind of like a Crash Bandicoot type of game with its style. But then the second game and beyond that, it's much more open world with missions. I'm going to call it open world, but more like open level with missions that you can go do, planning out your heist, carrying it out, and then taking on a boss in each city that you go to.
Very nice.
And then
I guess
there's Spike, Monkey Catcher Supreme. Flames, I want you to tell us about Spike.
For sure. So Ape Escape is pretty much now dead series, but boy, was it actually really a really good one in an early PlayStation era. The story is typically pretty simple. It's just about like raising monkeys' intelligences using a peepo helmet, what they call it, the professor oversee or peepo helmet. Yeah, they had a collection of monkeys with helmets on that made them smarter, which obviously bred a mastermind monkey, Spectre, to unleash them all across the ages. And Spike has to work with the professor. Professor invents new gadgets for him to go travel through the ages and collect back these monkeys via net, sword, like RC car, like a bunch of different fun gadgets to use to capture the monkeys again. And it's typically like it was really interesting at the time because it used the R2 analog stick in like quite a different way, like where you could swing your nets by inputting what direction you use the R2 stick. And just like really interesting world designs. The monkeys all had names and biographies and were really charming, found in interesting situations. And later on the series they introduced like more mechanics, transformation outfits, Freaky Monkey 5, and Yeah, it's an overall good series. Spike being the protagonist of the first game.
Man.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I was looking back at Ape Escape notes, and I was like, he's not the protagonist of the second game? What the hell?
Actually, the protagonist and the female companion of the second game are Ash and Misty, voice actors in English.
Really?
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Nice.
You like Jimmy and Natalie, I think, from Ape Escape 2.
Okay.
Man, speaking of nostalgia, it listening to Eric like wax on Ape Escape, I'm like, wow, this is like a product of an era, and we are old.
Ape Escape are great games. Like
They were great.
Twilix really enjoyed the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were announcing kids for PlayStation All-Stars, and they announced Spike, I was like, oh shit, Spike! Your 3D model looks a little weird in this game, but oh shit!
An inspired choice, much better than Evil Cole.
Yeah.
Like there's some character choices in PlayStation All-Stars. Evil Cole might be the definition of this was a choice. Fat
Princess.
That is also a choice. The two cats were choices that were made.
That's a squander opportunity right there for something great. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, from
the
what
game
I've read
in general is.
From what I've read about it, they did want to get like other big characters. Like they wanted to get Cloud, they wanted to get Crash and Spyro. Dart from Legend of the Dragoon was actually being planned for DLC before Sony made them work on a different character instead. They wanted to do bigger other characters, but they just kept getting denied every time they tried.
I bet you it would be hard to work with the Final Fantasy VII team for Cloud.
I think with that one, it was just Square wanted them to do Lightning, and they just weren't interested. Square was on a big Lightning push back in the day. They wanted to make Lightning. They wanted to do a character that could surpass Cloud in terms of fan. I forget the word popularity.
Service, yeah.
But it was just not happening.
They even made like typically Final Fantasy doesn't do sequel games like they do, but they gave Lightning three fucking games, and like they deteriorating quality every single time, and the first one wasn't even good to begin with.
I've heard the third one is actually. I've heard that. You said they deteriorate. I've heard it's the opposite, that they get better with each one.
Really?
You still got
I think they get worse.
One.
I think one is already a low bar. I actually have played one in its entirety, but 3 has like a super annoying like timer mechanic. It's just like I have a friend who actually likes those games, and I played the trilogy, but man, I almost wish I didn't.
I couldn't even finish watching a Let's Play of 13. Like 12, I stopped playing because I wasn't having fun, but at least finished watching the story of it. 13, I was just like, no, this is not fun.
It's
another relic of a bygone era, like the emo era. They're trying to.
Oh right, DMC Dante is in PlayStation All Stars because Capcom wanted to do that version of the character.
Worse than Evil Cole. Worse than Evil Cole. Oh my god.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I think that one is due to Capcom saying, no, do this Dante instead. So I don't blame them for that.
And then the fans said, no, do the original Dante instead. And they're like, okay, fine. The consensus I hear about 13 is like, people really railed it back in the day, calling it Final Corridor 13 for how linear the gameplay was. They say the dialogue is...
I hope 16 is amazing, because 13, 14, 15 on original launch were not well received. 14 nearly killed Final Fantasy in Square. It had to be rebuilt, and I praise them for it because the new 14 is a fucking amazing game. And then 15 was in development hell, and it released bad. They released bad. They had to do... It was not a finished game. It did not release finished, and they sold DLC of other characters to fill out parts of the story and charged for it. And it was like, you're calling this a finished game now? After you charged more? No, I'm not with 15. I hope 16 is amazing. The same guy that fixed 14 is the guy that was in charge of 16, and they said that one of their goals was that they did not want to have to do any kind of day one patch to finish the game. After that, they want to actually have a finished fucking product. I hope it's amazing.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Considering, sorry.
No, go ahead, John.
Okay, considering 15 is just bad Xenoblade, they should look to their contemporaries.
Ooh.
They should look to the contemporaries at Monolith Soft to learn how to make a good game that doesn't need a day one patch.
Fuck.
I haven't.
Didn't Monolith have day one patches though with Xenoblade?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure 2 and 3 have day one patches, sir.
That doesn't need DLC to complete its story.
No, the DLC instead enhances the story in a fucking amazing way.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry. One more quick tangent before I guess we probably jump back to the main topic. But like FF7 remake I really enjoy it, but also it worries me that the Kingdom Hearts writer is on it, and he just well, I guess like end game spoilers that are, but like the future is uncertain. It might not like completely like relive the events that have occurred previously. So I'm just like, I don't want to leave him up in the air with this writer necessarily. So I'm kind of worried.
Something I will say in regards to that to help alleviate some fears, because I've been looking into a lot of stuff with Remake. Nomura is not the main guy on Remake. He's actually in a lower position than he was on Remake Part 1. So Remake Part 2, like he's still involved, but he's not like in charge. But a couple things about that. I think from everything I've been seeing about 7 Remake, I think we are still going to go to the same location. We're going to see the same major story beats. There might just be some details that are twisted or changed. Like a certain character's fate, I think will still occur, but I don't think it will happen the exact same way. Like it might happen in the next location.
Most surprising. Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. And also, it's funny we talked about Nomura and doing crazy things. Apparently, in original 7, one of the other people working on the game wanted to kill off almost every single character in the game, and Nomura's like, no. So original 7 was saved because of Nomura. Now since then, could he have gone off the walls? Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 kind of say yes, but I think the man's real problem is that he gets too ambitious and he wants to do all the things, and then there's not enough time to do all the things, and it releases unfinished.
I'm going to kill chaos. Show me chaos.
I've actually been playing through that recently, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Oh my god.
It's actually a fun game. But, as you mentioned...
games are fun, I'll give them that.
Yes, as you mentioned, we need to get back to the main topic, Spike versus Sly Cooper. The two of these, the reason I picked these two characters to go against each other is because they have a lot of tools at their disposal. One captures, one steals. Like with Sly Cooper, he's got a lot of his thief techniques. He's got like a ninja spiral jump, which could maybe be like an episode type thing. I don't really know. It'd basically just be like a really tall jump. But that could maybe like home in on, kind of like how tether recoveries home in on the edge of a platform. Ninja spiral jump might be able to do something like that, but with a jump. So kind of a combination of the two kind of deals. But then he has like all kinds of fucking gadgets too. Like it's insane what he has. I'm trying to bring this up. Like he has ability to slow down time, throw his hat as a mine that he can then cause to explode, create cardboard cutouts of himself and act as decoys, which wouldn't really work in Smash, but it's still a really cool thing he can do. He can go kind of invisible. He has a paraglider. He has smoke bombs, different stealth techniques. He could even bring in one of his allies to appear. Like Bentley has a fucking crossbow that he can shoot people with. Murray can punch people really hard. He's a boxer. It's what he does. He has a little bit of like like a shockwave type effect he can do with an electric cane technique. He's got a lot of cool shit. But then, so does Spike. He's got his net. He's got a club. He's got a slingshot. He's got a hula hoop, but it gives him like a burst of speed and he can charge.
Yeah.
He's got an RC car. He has a fucking punch glove that he just like the punch just like, sends the punch he can. I don't know what the fuck else you call it. They both have a lot of cool shit between them, and I love it. And either one of these characters has plenty of things to pull from for Smash, and they would both be great.
Another important gadget too is like even for up special would be like they call it a sky flyer where you like twirls it around and shoots upward, kind of like a helicopter.
To back to Final Fantasy Remake, there's enemies that operate like that. I forget what the Hell Troopers. You fight them on the plate.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he would move a Skyflyer.
Yeah. He would definitely,
both
if
of
he was
these
in there with
characters.
speed.
If he what?
Go ahead.
He what now?
If Spike was in, like he would have that up special for sure. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, easily.
What's interesting about both of these characters are their like almost more cinematic roots in gaming history. Like I knew Ape Escape was gonna be the shit when one of the apes escaped from prison and killed Tom Felton's character off with an electrical prod. And Sly Cooper, I mean, he just has all these different friends. You mentioned Murray and a few others, but I'm really glad that ultimately Sly got to settle with Elena and just kind of chill. And like Sully was there, and he was a pretty cool guy. He was a funny guy. And the twist with the brother as well.
Do you know what he's referencing, or is this just as
Uncharted
great to you
there.
as Oh, okay.
But the first one, I'm not sure. Is it Shawshank Redemption or something?
I don't know. I don't know who the only Tom Felton I know is Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, it was him. It was him.
But he doesn't die.
Yeah, he's
not killed by a monkey. Wait, was he in the Planet of the Apes reboot?
Oh.
Man,
Okay.
Yeah.
those were choices. Those movies were choices.
Yeah, they were. Caesar is home. And then Caesar went home and he was like, I gotta kill chaos.
Okay.
The amount of zippers they put on Caesar after a few movies.
Yeah, Tennessee Kid Cooper. And Ryoichi Cooper, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to share one more gem from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. It's like,
Oh no.
what's that? What's that I smell? It smells like darkness.
God, Kingdom Hearts in the darkness.
I thought these were so like badass as a kid too.
Yeah, they were like laughing.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were
smells.
kids.
It smells like darkness.
Chain of Memories came out around the same time the DS did, and I remember it actually being a point of contention where my parents, money doesn't go around all over the place. It's like, do you want Chain of Memories and Minish Cap, or do you want the DS? And I'm like, it's that Chain of Memories, though.
And Minish Cap.
Minish Cap is amazing, yeah. But we ultimately opted for the DS. There's a lot of choices between these two guys. They're both great game series. One of which is the very personal favorite of a certain co-host of this podcast. I know.
Me?
And yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm the new co-host. Sorry, listener, your cat.
Freedom! Good luck scheduling. I don't have to do shit anymore.
Oh, that's up to Eric's mom.
Yes. She's actually the new co-host. Sorry, guys. I have to step out after my appointment. No, it's just be Jonno and Eric's mom.
There you go. Perfect. I'm looking forward to the day that happens. You guys can start like a Jonno hate cast.
What makes you think we haven't?
I haven't seen it yet.
Check Spotify again.
Oh, okay. That'd be funny if I found something.
Anyways.
More deeply upsetting.
So, we've kind of given, like, me and Eric have both given, like, I kind of gave an info dump about what both of them can do. Any other thoughts to discuss on what these two characters are, what they could do? Any questions about anything? I don't know, Jonno, if you have as much knowledge on these two as we do.
No, I've just seen you play both games on your channel.
No, you haven't.
Or I've seen some Sly Cooper on your channel.
No, you haven't.
Where have I seen it?
I don't know. We haven't. It's not on there.
Something.
There is no Sly Cooper on Slickstar Gaming, and that makes me sad.
Did you stream it?
No, I tell you, I don't own it.
Holy cow!
The only copies of Sly Cooper we had were on PS2, and I can't stream PS2.
Oh crap! Well, I've seen Sly Cooper gameplay a long time ago, independently of you, I guess.
And apparently those PS3 like trilogy collections, like Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, are very expensive right now. They're actually 80 plus.
They are.
secondhand.
They are.
I thought they were supposed to be free if you had PlayStation Plus.
Potentially, I'm not sure. I think that might be part of the classic catalog, which costs like I think the most premium price.
Yeah.
So it's not
Mhm.
super accessible, and I don't think they even have all of them either, which is like it's a bad service for sure.
I did buy Jak
I
and
would
Daxter
let's
for
play
$2.
the Sly Cooper games if I was good at stealth and it didn't give me anxiety up the ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of your favorite series, though.
Yes.
That and Freddy Fish.
I think the only thing I guess like Spike would be limited to like Ape Escape 1 weaponry, I think, just because like
Yeah.
some of the transformations that happen later on and some of the extra gadgets in 2 like don't really apply to Spike, I think.
I
So it
think
doesn't have as wide of a
I think the hard
gadget
thing with
pool as-
Spike too is you need to have the net be in his main moveset and not just be a grab like what Villager does. But I don't know what else you do with the net besides just okay, I hit somebody with it and now I throw them.
Yeah.
Because the net
And,
in Ape Escape it warps them back to their point in time where the professor is. That doesn't work for Smash. So I don't know how to make the net work and not just be
Mhm.
a grab. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it would be kind of weird for him to have that. I know it is like the most iconic part of him to have as like his main moveset, like for smash attacks and stuff. But it's almost like he uses Stun Club way more throughout the actual game.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, it could be used for like the start of the final Smash, like how they'll like,
Yeah.
okay, hey, you did the thing, you hit the character, now we go to the cinematic, and you just have the time that be what starts that.
It can warp them to wherever the final smash takes place.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm playing
Yeah.
Monkey Stampede or something.
And Spectre's there just chuckling.
Yeah, you gotta have
Yeah.
like the monkeys for sure, like
Yeah.
in somewhere in the character.
Mhm.
Oh, taunts. Monkeys appear in the taunts.
Yeah. Definitely. That would be the best part of that character. That would be great.
It would be.
I almost wouldn't mind like a King DDD type side special where he like throws a monkey to cause havoc, and maybe like different like pants do different stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you might get like
He
a
can-
higher chance to get like a rocket monkey or a higher chance to get like a gun monkey or just a normal one. It's like lounges about, does nothing.
Yeah, that's all things like 1% chance. It's
Yeah.
just a monkey that dances, and that's all it does.
Yeah,
I love that.
there's so many
Just
that
like
like yeah.
The 2016 top 40 hit song Dance Monkey.
I do want to make a Spike moveset eventually. I have one for Sly Cooper, but I haven't made one for Spike yet, and I've been thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. I think ultimately, I mean, if this were rate, their chances the characters are fairly evenly matched. To say that they don't have a huge chance at all in Smash, unfortunately. I'm thrilled that they were both in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. I hope that one day we revisit that series and these guys are both in it, and that the game is fully realized and it is what the developers wanted it to be, as opposed to what Sony forced them to push out.
Yeah.
Which was okay, but there was no way it was going to fight Smash. No way. It elements felt unfinished. It's just not great.
Yeah.
It's not. But at least it's got Evil Cole. So, we know the character's merits. Guess we just get into it.
All right. I have a lean. Anybody else have a lean? Or do we need to?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Eric, we'll start with you.
Can you guys remind me? Somebody else go first.
Jonno, start with you.
Okay. My lean, and this is difficult. To finish my thought earlier, I had seen Sly Cooper gameplay a long time ago and enjoyed it a fair amount. I was like, hey, if I had a PlayStation 2 back in the day, I would have played this. Spike, I played Ape Escape. I played Ape Escape Go or whatever it was called on the Vita.
Oh man, that's it. That's
Yeah.
like potentially the worst one. Actually, it is definitely the worst one.
and I played Ape Escape in PS Classics.
Okay.
The original.
So you at least played the good game.
And that was really good. Oh yeah, I played Go and I was like, what the hell is this? It's like, what is going on? It's like Pikmin Go. Don't call your games that. But and I really enjoyed that game. I like the collectathon, mazy kind of old school arcade games that are of a bygone era now. And I have this attachment to those characters. And Spike can bring a lot to the table, like we were saying too. He has a number of, if figuring out the net is one thing, but he does have a number of other weapons he can bring to the table. The apes are really hilarious, and would add a lot to the character just by being there and tossing victory poses alone. Albeit, I think there is more substance to Sly Cooper. I think that's only natural given that they're stealth games, action adventure games, and he has a whole, besides his arsenal that he has, he also has a number of friends that can make an appearance and actually do something in his moveset, potentially, or come in as assist trophies.
Spirit battles.
So there's yeah. And I inherently lean towards these characters that fulfill archetypes that we don't really have. We don't have a thief character. It would be, besides Joker, which, what does he do that's really thief-like? I mean, he's a stealthy guy, but you can incorporate more into Sly Cooper's moveset that's related to thievery.
We don't have a monkey catcher character yet.
No, we don't.
Fair points.
Yeah. Although you can hit monkeys with a net in Animal Crossing.
This is true.
In Smash, you can hit Donkey Kong with a net.
This is true. These are all very good points.
Yep. It's pretty evenly matched. This is a good matchup. My lean is Sly.
Sad noises.
It sounds like Flamezone has his pick.
Of course I do. Yeah. Sly. Like, this is actually a really good matchup too. They're both like dead, like Sony series.
Unfortunately,
both should come back.
They both should come back. Like, it'd be a really great resurgence for either of them.
Especially since Sony's on the trend, right? Like, they've been consistently trending for the last 5 years versus Nintendo and Microsoft.
Yeah. Like, they have like a well to draw from. I guess they haven't felt inclined to yet. I guess. Like, I mean, Ratchet and Clank. I guess we'll talk to them later. But they've had even kind of a reboot era that was really successful. Sorry, cut that up. But I would think my overall lean would be towards Spike, just because probably more nostalgia speaking than anything too. But if I had to choose between the two, I think that even like the monkeys had like a presence. I think in Snake Eater too, as a joke. Yeah.
I think they have
like other like inter-series connections and stuff, and they're kind of like rabbits but cool. I don't know. So I think I'll get my lean towards Spike.
All right.
Oh, and he has the slingshot.
Yeah.
And lightsabers, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good guy.
So honestly, I would be happy with either of these characters getting this match. These would both be amazing. Yes, there's one I would like to see more than the other. And also, like we talked about, both the franchises have been dead for a while. Sly Cooper, they did try to revive it. He got a 4th game in 2013. God, I didn't even realize it was that long ago.
It sounds like there's another one 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't the same developers. It was a new team, Sanzaru Games, and I thought they did a pretty good job. Like, there's a few issues. There's one major criticism I have with the story of Thieves in Time, but beyond that, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. But the Ape Escape hasn't gotten any kind of revival. Its last thing, actually, I mean, it did have Ape Escape Move
I think 2010.
in 2011. Yeah, 2010, 2011. But as far as like what looks like a main game, the last one would have been, I guess, the Ape Academies, I guess. But those are still in the party game section. There's Ape Quest on PSP in 2009, 2008, and then that's even kind of soon. It's like Ape Escape 3 was 2006. These games both could use a new entry because they would be fucking amazing. But I have to. I mean, they did do the crossover between Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank. That game exists.
Mm-hmm.
And Sly's second character for that one was Bentley. So that way they all had like the main character and their partner. But between these two characters, I have to go with Sly Cooper. I have to. He's my guy. Mm-hmm. Both would be great. I would be down for either. But I gotta go Sly.
Yeah.
Or no, for the people hat.
there is Peepo Snake in Ape Escape.
Yep, that's true. There's a whole mini game devoted to be like Metal Gear Solid, which is amazing.
It fuses Peepo and Snake. Two characters from our time.
Alright.
Gosh.
Respectable loss.
Listeners, well, we didn't formally vote yet.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't form. I thought we did.
Oh, I thought we're just naming our leans.
Oh, we're
I
just
mean,
leaning.
the
Okay.
leans was the vote, I thought, unless you're gonna vote for otherwise, unless you're gonna change it.
Come on, John.
I was teasing the idea, but
It's tough.
I was just kidding. It is tough. That's why I'll just go with my lean. It's easier.
Sly Cooper it is.
I'll vote for Sly.
All right. Next
Good guy,
matchup.
though.
These characters I don't know nearly as much about, so I'm hoping you two can pick up the slack. We're continuing with PlayStation All-Stars, and Flamezone may have spoiled one of them, which means that their opponent, it should be obvious if you really want to think about it, because who could be a more perfect set of opponents from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale than Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter? It just writes itself. It's right there.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So this one I think is much more clear in my eyes. Apologies for the spoilers. I guess I envisioned the title having them in the name, but
yeah.
Well, they will be in the title.
I bet you saw it coming though.
Yeah. I like to try and play things coy, but even then, like they're in the title. I don't know why I do that.
Okay. So I think the biggest difference between the two series initially is like one's dead and one's not. Is like my biggest.
I mean,
thing.
to be fair, wasn't Ratchet and Clank dead for a while until they did do that new game?
Not really. Like they had an entire PS3 series, like trilogy and more. And they got
PS3
like a reboot.
was a long time ago,
I guess, but the PS4 reboot was successful, in my opinion. And like Rift Apart being like nominated for Game Awards definitely kind of leans in towards it kind of getting a successful revitalization of like the mascot era of earlier gaming.
Yeah, I just checked it out. The biggest gap in between games was the remake and then Rift Apart, so that was only 5 years apart. Everything else that was pretty close together until that point.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting too because after the remake, we were certain we were getting a sequel. I mean, it wrote itself.
Yeah,
so.
and there was a lot of concerns about the sequel initially. Like when people saw, like there were some fake leaks that really.
Those were funny. Those are funny times.
The leaks were saying that basically just like actually yeah, it's a fake leak. I can say this. You're currently playing with some time, I believe. But the fake leaks were saying that like they were going to kill off Ratchet, and that the girl character is going to be the new main character, and that the internet did what the internet does, and they threw a big hissy fit about this. It's like, guys, you are throwing a fit about a leak. You don't know if this is true.
Could be quite a move.
First Captain Marvel, and now this.
I mean, it was after another game that's high for Sony profile did something similar. So people were all up in their throwing a fit state. Okay, yeah, Jak and Daxter hasn't had a game since 2009. Fuck. Yeah, they're kind of
another game. Yeah, I remember the reaction to that game. That was a good time.
Yeah, I didn't want to say in case spoilers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I guess Ratchet and Clank, even though their adventures span many entries, I also can't claim to have played them all. I grew up with the original trilogy, like just Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal, and Going Commando. Basically, just like lone species Lombax, trying to find like the rest of his species across dimensions. Ends up making an unlikely companion in like what was programmed to be a warbot in Clank. They team up. Yeah, they actually was programmed to be a robot. Yeah, well, he's supposed to be like a lot. There's some stuff that kind of he has a transformation stuff. But, they basically team up, fight various different villains across different timelines, galaxies. Dr. Nefarious is a recurring one. a lot of the appeal is like buying a lot of different weapons, upgrading your weapons, and like a lot of the weapons have a lot of like they're not non-traditional in most senses. Like from the previous game, there's like the pixelator, where it turns your enemies into pixels or turns them into sheep, or just wacky inventions. Kind of that's the main appeal of the game. And if we're talking about gadgets earlier, but no one's pockets are more deep than Ratchet and Clank in terms of what they could draw from. They have so many types of weapons.
Mm-hmm. I guess that brings us into the opponent today from that dead series, Jak and Daxter. The titular characters of Jak and Daxter. My earliest memories of that were just seeing their, and Ratchet and Clank for that matter. I mean, the PS2 era, they were cranking out the hits left and right. It was a renaissance for action platformers, and I'm surprised to let Jak and Daxter fall through the cracks, considering it ended on a cliffhanger. With a PSP entry of all things, and that was kind of it.
I think it maybe had more to do with like the developer, like Naughty Dog, having other projects, eh? But it is true. It is a shame.
The Jak and Daxter HBO series when?
Spyro the Dragon series when?
I know, right? I want to see that cheetah move in CGI.
Brand new sentence right there.
I don't like this conversation anymore.
I said that cheetah because I forgot his name for a second.
Hunter.
Hunter, yes. Hunt. I'm not gonna continue this string.
Please don't.
Jak and Daxter. My earliest memory. I mean, seeing the PS2 box, seeing them on the front of it in like a bundle at a Costco, and being like, I want a PS2, because just like kind of that steampunk world. I mean, that was really like fantastical. Into it was really interesting. But I only recently started playing Jak and Daxter. I picked up the Precursor Legacy on PS Classics maybe like a week ago and just started playing it. So I don't know a lot about these characters, but I do know they're pretty neat. You got this guy. He looks like this hairy elf kid, and his brother turns into a otter weasel thing, and they together fight nefarious people with a variety of weapons across both the light and dark ecos. Yeah, there you go.
It's accurate. And like in future entries too, they also had like a more serious tone actually, like from the first game.
Which is interesting. It's a choice. Yeah. It's a choice. Yeah. And to expand on that, I guess like the primary weaponry of the game. I mean, it's very gun oriented. Not dissimilar to Ratchet and Clank. There are, again, there's eco, there's red and blue and yellow and light and dark and green, that all power different elements of Jak's being.
The most interesting one of these all is eco teleport. Yeah, teleport moves.
Hell yeah. And you can restore your health with green eco as well. Oh, and he has a hover bike called a Zoomer, which is what Eric's generation is called. And
Eric's not a Zoomer. He's a millennial.
Yeah, I'm like on the year like where it's like not super clear. I think 97 was the year. Like it's not like I think that's the year that like the split occurs.
Jesus.
Nice. And holy cow. That. There is a large bird known as a Flut that is Jak and Daxter's friend. And okay. Flut can help them transport themselves. So okay. Flut could be in place of the teleport. And they also do some combat racing like young Anakin did in The Phantom Menace.
All right. So, somebody who hasn't played either of these series or even watched them, eventually, I'd kind of like to. But outside looking with these characters, they both look nearly identical to me. And again, I don't have much knowledge on them, but I see a main character with yellowish fur or hair with big ears that wears blue and has customizable guns with a little ally. These characters look the exact same to me. So I need information on what is different, what they can do, and why the fuck they should be added, because I'm a swing vote here. I don't know where to go.
Well, Ratchet, he has a ratchet, doesn't he? He uses the Omni wrench as like his main, as like his main ability.
Well, now I feel like they're lying to me. He uses a wrench and not a ratchet.
Clank clanks around at least.
Yeah, Clank's not actually very useful. He's mostly like puzzle solving ally, I guess. But there's a lot of like at least Into the Rift, even the 2016 has a lot to do with like he has like hover boosts, like gravity boosts. They really like cling the surfaces upside down. He actually can go like quite high speeds across planes. Has like kind of a grappling hook too, like so he has like a whole arsenal of stuff. But the biggest draw to Ratchet and Clank is just like the obscene amount of weapons and obscene type of weapons.
Yeah, it gets pretty comical, like super out there. Jak and Daxter, I mean, just reading about it a little more because I'm not an authority on it, just quite yet. There is a morph gun that's a primary weapon in Jak and Daxter that you can use to swap ammo and styles of guns on the fly, using different colored ecos to change the type of gun that you're using, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. And he's also heavily affected by light and dark eco, so there is literally a white Jak and a dark Jak.
Oh, great. So it's Cold and Evil Cole again.
Dark Jak with his dark eco is able to heavily reduce damage that he takes, so it's like a defense boost. Light Jak, it's healing light. It is what you would think it is. He has a jet board. That's pretty interesting. He could be like Jet the Hawk, that popular character from Sonic Riders, moving around. It could be the closest we get to Tony Hawk being in Smash. You can also shoot Dark Eco like an energy blast, like Samus. He has a lot of weaponry that are like grenades or bullets that bounce around like Revolver Ocelot. Honestly, there's a lot here. There is a lot here that I wasn't aware of. Apparently, he has a Hulk clap as well, where he claps and makes a pulse of light.
Yeah, Jak is kind of weird because... What?
Yeah. No, sorry.
Jak Daxter's kind of odd because like the first game is very like orientated, like kind of like a kids game, like kind of with Crash and platform. But then like 2 and 3 and like going on, like they took inspiration. I heard from like Grand Theft Auto to have like kind of combat vehicle shooters be like kind of a primary focus for them going forward. So it had like a complete tonal shift after the second game.
I mean,
which is
Spyro and Sly Cooper go through a similar thing where like both of them have like a very different playstyle between, well, not playstyle, but like the way you go about through the game between the first game and then 2 and 3 is a hard swerve after that.
Yeah, and they both are similar too because all of their best games were called Enter the Dragonfly.
Not a great game.
Yeah, I mean they're again, it's another great matchup. They're both duo characters. One even is like a cutesy short dude with a big yellow lead, like Lister had said earlier. It's like Lister and I.
Yep.
For me, like I think the decision.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Go on.
Oh, just saying, like I feel like the decision is easy for me just because like I played both of them, like especially growing up, like Jak 2 and the Ratchet and Clank games. But Ratchet and Clank has more of a presence in my life now. Still has like good staying power, with like new entries, like new like interesting story. They're kind of still basic fare, but just the creativity involved with like weaponry, like being a pixelizer, fupinator, different forms of explosives, grenades that send out bees, a sprinkler that turns people into a garden hedge to be trimmed, like stuff like that. Yeah, like that goes out there. Yeah, I think like such a like Ratchet and Clank, I feel like it has such a like more storied history, whereas Jak and Daxter kind of feels like they had an identity crisis, whereas Ratchet and Clank are like totally iconic for Sony.
I know what I would like to see, like if these characters I've forgotten to Smash, what I would want is the partner character Clank Daxter. They got to do something in the moveset. They got to do something. Yeah, maybe they only do maybe it's only like one special move or something. They got to do something for me.
I don't know if it's super clear, but like Clank, it does act as like a propeller, like so he can hover with Clank. Yeah, so that could be definitely integrated. I think he also has like kind of can control, like he's really good with like switches, like controlling like robots and stuff, or like he can potentially throw grenades of his own in some games. So he definitely should do stuff, and I agree.
Okay.
And he can. It's not as exciting as Ratchet's weaponry, but
I am glad that Ratchet and Clank is still around. Sony has let a lot of their other, as evidenced by Ape Escape and Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper, a lot of other games of this ilk fall through the cracks. And I think it's important to have a series like this persist on any platform. So kudos to them for that. Yeah, Jak and Daxter, I like the vibe that I'm getting from the first game. I'm glad to know the second game is kind of like that. I hear the Daxter PSP game is similar as well. But yeah, it is unfortunate that, at least for Eric's opinion here, it gets into kind of like too edgy for me territory, you know? Like it's a little less
like
palatable.
Like Twisted Metal GTA, like it's just kind of like
yeah, they if you're gonna do it, go all the way. Go Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
So, something I like with these two is that like Jak and Daxter, at least for the first 4 games, including the racing one, all of them were Naughty Dog. But then after that, they have a Daxter solo game, and then the PSP game, Jak Lost Frontier, were both different companies other than Naughty Dog, and that's probably part of why I'm guessing they lost their identity because they had different people working on them. But Ratchet and Clank, it looks like, with rare exception, has been Insomniac the entire way through.
Yeah, they're a great duo that has persisted, and that's cool.
But I think that to clarify something on Lister's point, I think the tonal shift happens between Jak 1 and Jak 2.
Oh.
I think that's still Naughty Dog.
Yeah, they were. The first 4 were all Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Was Abby in Jak 2?
Who? The side characters are lost on me.
All right, so let me ask you both this, and this is going to be the last thing that I'm pretty much going to be contributing here before we get to votes. What would you say in terms of like mechanics, techniques, weaponry that these characters have, general gameplay things that they can do? What is the most unique thing that Ratchet and Clank have, and the most unique thing that Jak and Daxter have?
Most unique thing. I think that you could have a button mapped for like weapon, because like there's like a whole family of like kind of weapons dealers called like the Zircons. Like they get all the weapons from. Like if you had like a button mapped like that would pull out a random gun, you would have like 25 to choose from, like plus, like, and have them all have a unique mechanic. Just like there's so much unique.
So do a standard special where there's 25 different guns and you don't know what you're going to get until you press the button.
Yeah,
and just shoot something.
I think that would be that's kind of like what I envision for Ratchet and Clank, because like that's kind of lends like the randomness of like the nature of the weapons and like just the pool that they can choose from. I think that'd be like a good kind of representation of them.
Interesting.
I guess Jak's ability to channel eco is his most noteworthy ability, and in doing so, he can morph his gun into like 25 plus different weapons.
Oh, God. I don't think it goes that high.
And they can build cars, just like Link in Tears of the Kingdom.
Just like Banjo-Kazooie.
And just like Banjo-Kazooie.
Ooh.
Honestly, when the Tears of the Kingdom trailer first showed off Link driving a car, literally everybody's first thought was nuts and bolts.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I have my lean too. Let's see what Lister's is.
I think I'm last because I don't know shit. So it's you two.
Well, most of what I learned about these characters today has been in discussion and by visiting their wikis on the fly. So, again, I've played the demo for Ratchet and Clank on the PS4, and I've just started playing the Precursor Legacy for Jak and Daxter like 5 days ago.
Instead of Xenoblade 3?
Oh, I've been playing Xenoblade 3. Console. Anyway, but with all that being said, my lean is Ratchet and Clank as well.
Right.
I think that you set these characters side by side. There are so many things that are very similar between the two, how they operate, the era that they came up in, what they represent as duo characters in the action platformer days, even down to their initial movesets in their original games. But one veered into obscurity, relative obscurity, due to like weird development choices, and the other has succeeded for over 20 years. And there's a reason for that, and I think Ratchet and Clank is the more consistent and appealing vision between the two series.
They're very aptly put.
Yeah.
I think I will agree with John on this one for sure. Like, just to me, like, I played Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy like later on in life too. I grew up on 2 and 3, so I have like a memory of what they're like. But after even playing 1, I think potentially 4 years ago, I played 1 all the way through, and I can't remember much about it. Like, that just didn't stick with me very well. And then like the complete tonal shift, so they had like an identity crisis. Jak 2 and 3, while fun games in their own right, they aren't really the same Jak and Daxter from the first game either. So you kind of would have to choose which depiction you'd want to go with too. And I just don't really think that they have a strong, like they're not as strong in consistency as Ratchet and Clank across the generations, like John mentioned. Ratchet and Clank have always been like what you would expect, right? The same kind of personalities, the same types of recurring villains, locations. They kind of it's almost like a Mario Brothers game. You kind of know what to expect with Mario Brothers, right? It's the same as Ratchet and Clank. And I think that they just have like so much going for them comparatively. So I would lean towards Ratchet and Clank myself.
All right. Well, at this point, my vote doesn't matter because you have both voted for Ratchet and Clank. That being said, I got to register mine as well. Before the podcast started, I did a real quick skim over both characters, including Clank and Daxter, kind of just like trying to familiarize with a little bit like what they can do and their different techniques and whatnot. And based off of that, based off what you guys have said here, I'm pretty much going with the character that I think one has more interesting things to them to pull from for Smash. And also a bit of a combination of like which ones of these sets of characters is more aesthetically pleasing. And it's kind of an easy bet. It's Sly Cooper and Bentley. Wait, shit, no, that's the wrong game. Fuck, I did it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. No, it's Ratchet and Clank. It's like Jak and Daxter, they're fine. I haven't played either of these characters' series, so I don't have like a strong knowledge that I would like to have. But sometimes we don't for Smash Dashes. We can't. If we only talked about characters in games that we knew, we would have run out of characters by now. Not really, but it would have been a lot of Pokemon and a lot of Fire Emblem, and that would not have been fun. But no, yeah, it's Ratchet Clank. I think they'd be interesting. I can't say a whole lot more than that until I actually, educate myself better. But I think they got the right stuff.
I agree. Plus, Jak and Daxter, it falls into the general life advice that I follow, which is never trust a guy with a chin strap.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this means that we will be seeing Sly Cooper and Ratchet Clank in our Tournament of Champions when we get to the end of the season to find out who is our most wanted character in Smash of all the Smash Dash winners of the entire season. It'll be a time, I'm sure. There's only 2 more episodes of Smash Dash until we get there. So only 4 more winners to go to add in there. So it's gonna be a time. I have some thoughts about who could do well, but I don't know how it's gonna go because if you saw the last couple Tournament Champions, you know it can be chaos. So
I want to kill chaos.
oh no.
Show me chaos.
All right. Well, that's all we got for today. Eric, this has been your 6th episode with us. I'm sure we'll have you on for more. Whenever.
We definitely will.
Because you don't know how to say no. And
That's true.
It's a problem. You need to learn that.
I haven't wanted to be on any of these, but my Canadian genes are just, no's on my vocabulary.
and then after we're done, you say sorry for not being as good as I wanted to be. It's like, you are fine. Stop it.
Quite astute. It is with that inflection. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
But the other thing we want to mention, next episode is a special one. It is episode 100. How the fuck we've gotten here, I don't know. This should not have lasted this long. But we are doing a look back on Supercast Brothers, pretty much discussing, everything that we've done up until this point. We'll probably talk about some favorite episodes, moments, times when Jonno made me want to quit, how many times he made me want to quit. I don't know if we're gonna have anybody else on. We probably won't. It's probably just gonna be the 2 of us unless something weird happens. I don't know.
Someone wants to call in to the show.
I don't want to make any promises on that, but it's a possibility. Jonno could phone somebody, and then they'll just be like, "Hey, we're gonna interview you for a quick couple seconds, talk about what episode you've been on or something." I don't fucking know. I don't know what to expect from that episode, but it's probably gonna be messy.
Yeah, I think so. But it'll be fun. I don't know. It's just like phoning you to fill in for this bed and make sure that.
Guys.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. I think listeners have to look back on this episode and
hello
for John making him want to quit.
Hang up on me.
Yeah, that's the business right there, but.
All right.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, no conference calls.
Dicks. Jonno also muted again. You can't see it on the video because, his name tag is kind of covering up the muted symbol. But he did mute again. Also, they're both muted. And my computer is doing a thing that I need to dismiss. So sorry that you heard that. Yeah. Anywho, while they're having their phone call, here's the outro. We'll see you all in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.